All right, guys, that tune will be in your head now. Thank you, Emma. Right, let's get on with this goddamn FYP. Right. Well, guys, I did say, let me just put my light on. I did say that if anything makes FYP where my friends are concerned, I will play it. Nevertheless, they are my friends. If I choose to be biased, I will be biased, because we're all biased where our friends are concerned. We love the word biased around here. Absolutely. But I will still play and cover what is out there on the FYP. All right, guys, and I will have my truer opinions on these situations. Nevertheless, like I said, the clique is heavily protected around these ways, just like everybody else's friends are protected around their ways. Okay, so let's get on with it. So last night it all booted off in Pearl Price's live with Pearl, Alex, Frankie, Cockapoo, and everybody else that was in the live, guys. All right, remember, keep the comments cute. We'll have no nastiness in the comment sections, guys. Thank you, everybody. Gossip Girl, big up Gossip Girl. We'll have no... Thank you. We'll have no nastiness in the comment sections, all right, guys? Don't try me today. I'm not in the mood. Keep it cute. Have your opinion. And all be sweet. Right? Out. Out. Right, let's get on with it. Thank you, Kirsty. Right, I'm not going to play part 1 to 1,000,000. Thank you, everybody. Big your bad selves up. I'm not playing part 1 to 1,000,000 because I've watched it this morning and I can't be doing with watching the whole thing again, all right, guys? So I'm just going to flick through little bits of videos and I will have my opinions, all right?
Sick of coming on this app. I've come in here for a laugh. Jamie shared me the live. I come in here, I was going to have a little banter, and straight away comments, show some respect to Alex, blah. You need to have a word with these people, Alex.
The thing is, Frankie, you know as well as me, half of these people will call me live, be mixing chats. These people that are coming, I've never seen once in my life. Never once. But it's easy to start something up by going,
Alex, can I ask you something? While you're in the live, and Frankie's in the live, Jamie's in the live, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Hello, Kate.
Like, there's been conversations, don't trust this and don't trust that, and then Frankie's taught me things, and it's been a heap of bullshit. So stop putting all the blame on to me, saying I'll be off your app by December.
I don't mention, Pearl, to be honest with you, I've mentioned you once, and the only reason you was mentioned was the fact that you held a whole lie saying that you know this, you know that, blah, but you don't know fuck all.
100%,
And I just want to clarify that because, like, look, I don't really speak about many situations that happen off the app, right? Purely because I don't think it's the app's business unless, you know, it needs to be shared. So I don't really divulge a lot of what happens, you know, let's just call it behind the scenes or off the app, right? And specifically with people that I used to be friends with. Okay, and that's because even though I don't feel it's been reciprocated, whatever the word is, I still hold that level of respect. Okay, but I've got to be honest, Pearl, she has stated, and it is true, that she was told not to trust me and other people, Cockapoo, Luke and whatnot. Right, she was told not to trust us, and this is only something that I found out recently. Okay, I'm going to say recently, a few months ago. She was told not to trust us, right, by Alex. And that really hurt because I have never, ever give Pearl any reason not to trust me. Big up, Lulu, thank you. Big up, Lulu, thank you very much. Thank you, Lulu, thank you, Shaz. I've never given Pearl any reason not to trust me. Everybody knows what's happened with Pearl, and I was one of the only people that stood by her. And I will always stand by her. I will always stand by my friends, right? Right or wrong, I'll stand by them. And let me tell you why. Because I'll go down with the ship, okay? I will get down with the ship and I will stand by my friends. But I've never give Pearl any reason to want to walk away from me or not to trust me. Now, I know that was said to her, not to trust us. But what hurt was the fact that she was told not to trust me. And I know that happened. I know you come to in Alex. I know that happened because let me explain the situation. So I noticed Pearl stopped coming in my lives, right? Thank you, Clover. I noticed Pearl stopped coming in my lives. I noticed Pearl stopped ringing me, right? I noticed Pearl massively stepped away from me, right? And I rang up Pearl one day. Thank you, Lulu. Thank you, darling. I rang up, see, it's going to start getting me upset now. I rang up Pearl because I don't want to do things like this. But I rang up Pearl one day. I said, Pearl, is there a problem? What's going on? Right? And she said, I just want to stay in my own lane. I can't remember the exact words, but it was along the lines of, I just want to stay in my own lane. And she was really off with me. And I remember getting off that call and I overrang Jay or Cockapoo and I cried my heart out. I literally cried my heart out because I couldn't understand what I'd done. And she didn't even tell me really what I'd done because I don't think she knew what I'd done. It was just what she was told and what she was going off. So that is true. That situation is true. And I believe her. I know it happened because I remember that conversation. I remember ringing around our friends and being upset and being heartbroken because Pearl didn't want to speak to me. Right? It's not that she didn't want to speak to me, I'll take that back. She took a step away. Because that's what she was told, that she couldn't trust me, which is further from the truth. Because my friends have never not had a reason not to trust me, because all I do is protect, all I do is love, all I do is peacemake, all I do is try and make things better. All I do is people please, people please. So none of my friends have ever had a reason not to trust me or turn their back on me in any way. Yeah, like normal friendships, people bitch, people moan. But I don't go bitching and slagging each and any one of them off. Never, I won't do that. And if someone's getting slagged on the phone, I won't join in that conversation. If someone's got a bitch about somebody else, which is normal within friends groups, right? And my friends will vouch for that. My friends will vouch for it. Because she said it must be true. We know it is true. It's true. I know it's true. I know it's true. So that's one thing. And the other thing, right, I do hold my friendships dear, I really do. I hold my friendships dear. People say, well, it's weird, it's only TikTok. But to me, it's not, because I speak to these people on a daily, on a night time sometimes. I share my deepest, darkest secrets. When I'm going through something, when I've lost a loved one. These are the people that I share things with, right? And I thought Alex was one of them. For a lot of him. And people may think that it's weird, but how can you know, you've never met this person. But I held him in high regards. And to be at this place now where we're at, where I'm actually vilified in his chat, and I have been for the longest of times, that hurts. Because I haven't done anything to him. I haven't done anything to him to warrant being so vilified like I have been over the last couple of months. And I don't know if he's cancelling me.
If you're right, nothing was set up.
I don't think he's live.
Corey, please.
But I was going to ask him what I've done. The thing is, right, Alex, right, and it's took a lot for me to do this, right, Alex, because I've never wanted you off this app. I've never wanted you off the app, right? Because when we was friends, I genuinely thought the world of you. Not in a weird way, right? And I've never wanted you off this app. I've never wanted you destroyed. I've never wanted any of that. All I ever did was protected you. And for me, like, to see myself vilified in a room where a majority of them people used to be my supporters, and these people think I'm a snake, and these people think I'm a bad person, and I'm not. I'm not how the app portrays me to be. Yeah, I'm a cunt, and I've done some shitty things, but this has like really, really hurt me over the last couple of months, right? And I can never forgive you for it, because I expect it from people like Angie, people like Corey, but from you, I didn't expect that from you. Do you know what I mean? Because I know that I'm not as headstrong as what people think I should be, but I'm me. How I am on the app is how I am off the app, only I use a few more graphic words in a sense of swear words. Or I'll say this person's a bitch, that person's a see you next Tuesday. Right? But I just feel like the way I've been vilified by somebody who I thought a lot of. Like, do you know what I mean? And like, little things that you find out that have been said. And I just never expected it. Never expected that. Because I never wanted anything from you. Never wanted anything from you at all. Just friendship. Not universes, not for you to fight my wars, nothing like that. Just friendship. And for me to be vilified the way I've been for the last, I don't know, since we're not speaking, that has like really broke my heart. Right. I'm actually more vilified in your chat than what Delusive Angie is right now. Alright? And like you say, you know, you've been paranoid and stuff like that. And I'm not here to make you out to be a bad person. I'm not doing that. I'm just speaking my piece and my truth, the truth. It just hurts. And the person that I knew all them years ago, the person that I got to know, isn't the person that I see, or the person, you know, that you've shown me to be the last couple of months, because I never would have expected it from you. I mean, it might not that be deep, to, you know, people that are watching, and people say, oh my God, she's crying, but it's took a lot for me to say this, and I've got to get my feelings out. It's took a lot for me to say it, because, you know, there's people in the chat, Frankie and other people, and they'll verify that I was probably one of your truest friends. I wouldn't have a bad word said against you by anybody. Not one person. People saying, is this, is that? No, he isn't. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. And I used to drive everybody mad. But I was a real one, Alex. I was a real one. And like I say, and I'm going to keep on repeating myself, our friendship will never be repaired. Like, there'll never be a phone call or a message or anything like that. Like I say, I expect it from other people on behalf, like Angie. And people say, well, you can forgive Evil Queen. How can you move on with Evil Queen? That's because I didn't hold Evil Queen like I held Alex in that, you know, category. Do you know what I mean? So it's different. It's completely different. I mean, I know me and Iki are okay now and we're friends now, you know. But it's different. Yeah, I held you in high regard. So when I found out that you said that to Pearl, and I found out other things and the way I've been vilified, yeah. Because I am trustworthy. Because if I weren't, I could have brought so much to this app. Not about, you know, scandalous shit. But I could have brought so much to the app about everything, everybody. But I never have, and I never would. Never would. So when I've got associates of yours, we'll talk about Chippy, stating that I'm not to be trusted, that really affected me, that did. And it shouldn't, because Chippy's a weasel. Chippy's like, just doing your bidding, really. I don't think that you're sending him out to do your bidding. He's just doing it because he benefits off your community. That really fucking hurts. Because Chippy, you don't know. You don't know. All you know is what you're probably told, or what you see on the FYP or whatever. But I am trusted. I'm a very, very fucking good friend, and I hold my friends to a really high standards. And you've seen Alex in the chat. I haven't spoke to Alex for a long time, and he said he was paranoid. And I'm sorry that you was paranoid. I'm very sorry you was paranoid. But I had to get that off my chest today. I had to say what I wanted to say, because I've been made out to be a bastard. Been made out to be a bastard. And so as people associated with me, as they will say, the clique. But they're not bad people. They're people that's been hurt. People that have been hurt as well. There's a lot of hurt. Right, guys? And people say, well, grow up, it's TikTok. It may be TikTok for some people, but for us, it's genuine feelings, genuine friendships that we had. So there's a lot of hurt people, right?
There's a quote, and it goes like this.
Oh, where's that gone?
Sick of coming on this app.
In a heap of bullshit. So stop putting all the blame on to me, saying I'll be off the app by December.
I don't mean, to be honest with you, I've mentioned you once, and the only reason you was mentioned was the fact that you held a whole life saying that you know this, you know that, blah, but you don't know fuck all.
1,000,000%. I know you were caught on the camera being a Pippin Tom.
But the thing is, the whole story, you don't know anything, this is what I mean.
Right, I'm
You're
just
only
saying what I know.
Yeah,
Thank you, Cotswell.
Right, Alex, can you answer? How long's your normal for?
Till December.
Right, so it was granted again, right?
Yeah,
so to me, that is a fucking red flag.
No.
Listen, Alex, let me just say.
And personally myself, I'm only playing these videos because it's on FYP, and I don't want to be accused of being biased and things like that. But I don't speak about Alex and his situation with Steph. I don't do that because I believe it should be left in the hands of the police. That is just me personally, that is my opinion. But other people choose to speak on it, that is up to them, right? That is up to them. If they want to speak on it, I don't judge them in any type of way. But for me, I'd rather not have it on my platform, because only two people know the truth, and that's them too. And I just think, let the police, do what they want to do. That is just my opinion, because if I was going through a situation like that, right, and nobody knows what the future's going to bring, right, I wouldn't spoke about it on, so let's just say me and Simon broke up and there was some, not that it's going to happen, but nobody knows what the future's going to bring, right? So for me, like I say, there's just that little bit of level of respect there that I wouldn't and I couldn't. But if other people choose to do it, I mean, he was the one that brought it to the app, and, she was the one that is inboxing people and telling people. But for me personally, I'm just saying where I stand, and I've stood on this for months since it come out. I don't want to talk about it, but I've got to play these videos because it's on the FYP. And if people choose to speak on it, I don't judge them in any way, because it was brought to TikTok by Alex and her.
It's a red flag that you got that non-mo. They don't do that for no reason. Come on, Alex.
It was because there's still an investigation going on, Pearl. They had to cover the time up.
So you couldn't get it into your head why Steph didn't want nothing to do with you. You still burglarised her. You still Pete and Tom on her. You still went to her. Yes, Alex, it's proven.
Well, I'm not going to be baited into talking about something I can't physically talk about.
Thank you, Coco.
Like I said, in due course, if I have to bring everything to the app, I bloody will.
So why did you go to Steph's house when it was night time? Her and her little girl was in bed, and you made sure you were there.
And I just want to say the people that I'm associated with, that people call the clique, you know, with the bully bastards, the clique, whatever. I trust them. I trust them with my life, you know. And people, there's 3,500 people in here saying, "Oh, Miss Red, get a grip." I do. I trust them, you know. I trust them more than anything, because I know that these people genuinely love me. Like, they're genuinely there. They pick me up when I'm down, when I don't want to come on the app, when I'm having a bad day. You know, they're there on the phone with no other ulterior motive than because, you know, they think a lot of me too, and they're good people. Yeah, they'll have the, you know, they've had the times on TikTok and things like that, but they're good people. Like, really, really good people. Some of the best people I've met in my life. And it just hurts me how much, like, yeah, it just hurts, because, like I say, you see this side of people on the app, and I think you get the wrong impression, but they are good people. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Joe.
Few minutes, you made sure the dog was going divvy, and she knew you were there. When she closed the curtains, you were there. Why did you do all that for, Alex?
She hasn't got curtains, that's a lie.
Wow, so you've proven you were there and watching, or blinds, whatever she's called.
I've been in the house a couple of times.
Why were you there when she said no? That's all I'm asking. Why were you there when she said, I don't want that to
I'm not going to get
Alex,
into a conversation that I can't get into, Pearl, and you know I can't get into the conversation.
You were a narcissistic bastard, in my opinion.
So by law, if I talk about it, I'm a narcissist.
So I've spoke to Pearl about this. I'm okay, guys. I'm okay. Look, for me, right, when it comes to friendships, I deep it. You know, I deep it, right? Because the one thing in my life I take serious is family and friendships, right? Family and friendships. It's what I'm about, so I deep it. So that's why it gets me upset, because I don't like seeing any of this. I really don't. I don't like seeing any of it, right? But there is hurt where Pearl's concerned. There's hurt where I'm concerned. There's hurt where Cockapoo's concerned. There's hurt all round, right? There's a lot of hurt there. And I think that feelings are valid, you know. I think the only thing Pearl did wrong last night, and I've told Pearl this, is because I'll always be honest with her, and, you know, I told her I'm going to come on the app and say this. She didn't let Alex, you know, get a word in edgeways. I think that's the only thing Pearl did wrong. She didn't really, you know, give him a chance to get his word in. And I've told Pearl on the phone, if she's in the room, she'll clarify that. Yeah, but people say that it was a gang up, but Alex and Pearl don't get on. Cockapoo and Pearl don't get on. So it isn't a gang up. It's just the fact that we've got people in the boxes that don't get on. You know, we see it in many boxes. But they ain't, it weren't a gang up. You know, Alex could have dropped at any time. And yeah, but the only thing she did wrong was she never let him get a word in edgeways. But personally, I blame the vodka. It's not an excuse, but yeah, it wasn't a gang up at all, just me. It wasn't a gang up. And at the end of the day, it's Pearl's platform as well. If she wants to speak till the cows come home, it's Pearl's room. Thank you, Just Pam. But all this isn't, you know, just to get anybody off the app or to wage a hate campaign. It's down to real, genuine, raw feelings and friendship breakups and everything else.
We know, you were a narcissistic bastard, and you couldn't take it that she didn't want you. She let you go. You are a controlling cunt, in my opinion, and you couldn't cope with the fact that some woman thought you were a red flag and she didn't want you around her. What's your opinion on that?
What's my opinion? It's a load of bullshit. That's what it is. Then it's facts.
Well, there wouldn't
Can I
be
say,
things
can I
if it was
finish something?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Without any interruptions from anyone. So here's, I don't know what's gone on with you and your ex-partner, or the partner before that, or the several women that have talked about you on the app. What I would say, Alex, is I can only talk about my own experience with you.
Yeah.
And the people who I am really good friends with, and their experience with you.
You are, but that's why we love you,
What I know about
Cockapoo.
you is that you find some sort of vulnerability, and that you actually work that vulnerability in a way that benefits you. And you don't actually,
yes,
you're
I know.
like a bit of a bone collector. You don't actually want to be friends with people. What you want to do,
Yeah, I agree. Queen Ree didn't have to drop, and he has absolutely every right to defend himself, and that's what he did. He was in the box, and he was having his say. Like as I spoke to Pearl, I think, you know, the only thing wrong in that box was he probably should have been able to speak a little bit more. Pearl, are you here? I've said this to Pearl, said it to Cockapoo. Like, I ain't going to come on and lie. I'm not going to beat around the bush. You know, I said I'll be honest.
is you want to get information that creates some sort of fear for them, that when you actually switch on them, or you feel like they're switching on you, you then want to use that on the app against them.
You need to
and,
sort.
and I have personally experienced that with you, and I know that people around me that I'm really good friends with, you've created deep anxiety for them, and I have seen since they are not in your life, that anxiety has gone. So I can only imagine what you're like with people who meet you on the regular in their day-to-day life, Alex. And that for me is really scary, because I don't know what's gone on in your
Alex,
relationships.
sorry, Cockapoo.
Pearl, I'm not finished.
I'm just listening at the moment, you know.
I'm not finished. I don't know what's gone on in your relationships, and I'm not going to try and judge that. But I only know how you have been with me and women
I've
that
said
I'm
this
really
to
good
Lula.
friends with, and how you've used what they've said to you. And
Drink
you've
doesn't
used that
help.
to create
Drink's the
daggers
devil.
and swords.
I mean, look at me a couple of weeks ago when I had a drink, and I won't discuss what's happened off the app, but you know we've had a loss, another one, right? And I crashed out. I really did. Like, all that anger, all that grief, all that frustration, all that pent up anger, I took it out on other people, and I shouldn't have done. Even though these people go at me, you know, it's TikTok, I took it out and I said some horrendous things, and I shouldn't have said it, and that was in drink. And, you know, I can honestly say I know I'll never do it again, and it's not an excuse. I'm not excusing what I said, because I shouldn't have said it. You know, I don't believe for 1 minute the pedlos or that it's a pedlo ring. It was just a case of me having a drink and just taking my anger out, taking grief out. Do you know what I mean? But it was wrong of me to do that. But yeah, drink and TikTok, it's the worst thing. It's the devil. It's the devil, guys. But like I say, all this, it runs deep. It really runs deep, like, and for you as, you know, me as spectators and supporters and people in the rooms, and you're just supporting us, you're not going to feel what we're feeling, all of us. You're not going to feel it. You know, you can relate in some kind of way, but you're not going to feel it. Thank you, Becky. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm okay, Queen Ree. My mental health is brilliant. Honestly, my mental health is brilliant. It just, like, for me, I hate seeing all of this. Like, I really do. I do, but there's a lot of emotions involved and a lot of genuine reasons why people are hurt. So again, I apologise for my rant.
To cause problems, and the
Can I
person
respond to that?
and the person I'm going to talk about is somebody that I had an argument with, that they didn't want you to bring it to the app, but you decided to use that against me without their permission. and create great frustration and deep concern for them.
Yeah.
And
Do you know the reason why that happened?
It's
though,
really
Coco?
nasty.
No, it ain't nasty. Do you know what it was? And it wasn't even played out that way. So you're just trying to now twist the scenario to make you seem like the innocent party when that wasn't the case at all. You was running around the app, prancing around, thinking you're all high and mighty. When I had that person on the phone to me crying in absolute tears, saying that you had used her personal trauma against her. You know, and then obviously
Did they give you permission?
I've allowed
Did they give you permission?
I've allowed you to speak, so allow me to speak.
No.
Cockapoo, let me speak.
Let me speak.
Let Mancy back.
Give
I
you
allowed you to
permission.
speak. I did not put in once,
Cockapoo,
Cockapoo.
please let Mancy back.
I did not once jump in on you then. I had a person on the phone to me in absolute tears.
See, the thing is, Shell, right? Thank you, Upsa Daisy. I stand... Love you, Fran. I stand on the fact, right? And I'm sorry, right? I'm not one of these massive, women, feminine people that, a man shouldn't speak to a woman. If a woman is giving a man energy, the man has every right to go back. And I'll stand by that verbally. Right, so if I'm on this app and let's just use Corey as an example, and I'm giving Corey what for, and he goes back at me. I can't cry about it because look, I got a mouth verbally. Like, if a woman's going at a man, he's got every right to go back. Like, let's not fucking, sorry. If obviously in the real life, physically, men shouldn't put their hands on women. Majority of men are a lot stronger. It's in the physics, right? But equally, women should put their hands on men. I'm just using as an example. Let's not be, I'm a female. You can't speak to me like that. No. Match energy. So if he's got a right to, speak back to somebody if they're giving him it's matching energy, right?
Couldn't even get a breath out on about phoning mental health nurses.
Yeah, he is, Pearl.
Sorry, Donna, I just have to jump in a second, and I've never once said that.
Pearl?
Can you hear me?
My phone's down. Can you hear me, Pearl?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, darling.
Never once have I said anything about Alex or anything, because if I shouted him, he's entitled to shout at me back. So never once. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and I've never ever pulled that card or done anything. And that goes for any man on here. If I speak to them in that way, they are more than entitled to go back at me. But I just want to put that out. So never once have I said.
I wasn't talking about... Excuse me, I wasn't talking about you. Basically, a comment section said, about men speaking to women in a way, but you agree with me.
No, if a woman's like a man and goes at a man, they're entitled to go back. That's my opinion. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was in reply to a comment section.
Yeah. Okie doke, Babs.
All right, pal.
You're all right now.
Love you, bye.
Bye. Love you.
So Pearl agrees there.
And all this stuff, right? And so I then, when you was running around the app, mentioning that woman's fucking name, I thought you was taking the fucking
Alex, can I ask you something? Did you let Frankie know that you weren't in a good place and that...
Frankie knew I was though. Frankie knew I was in a
hold
bad place.
on, Alex, hold on. You tried to put that on my name. Through Frankie, you tried to put that on my name.
No, I just said that there's no reason when you don't know everything to be going at me. That's it.
No.
Said...
Whoa, Alex. Whoa. Take that back. Stop it, Alex. Trying to gaslight everybody.
What do you mean gaslight?
You tried to put it on Frankie. That you didn't want to be here no more. Have you ever wanted to be here no more through me?
We're on drama talk, Annie. It happens.
100%.
You don't need to watch, Annie.
Things 100%, but nothing to do with you directly, obviously.
Thank you, everybody, for the popular gifts.
But this is the problem.
I cannot take a coming on this app. I'm coming here for a laugh. Jamie shared me the live.
Right, let's have number 2.
A long time. I'm not
Hi, Emma.
with you, bro. But the whole chat, you can't tell me that all these people aren't your people. People are telling me I should be sticking up for you now. You're 41 years old. If it was a geezer in the streets, I'd be right next to you. But these are women on the app. What am I supposed to do?
But Frankie,
also, they're telling
Thank
me,
you, Kay.
well, how am I letting this happen?
Big love,
So,
Crazy
Alex, I'm going to be real with you, bro, yeah? I spoke to you earlier. I told you a few things, bro. You did fuck all about it. So, I'm going to be real now. I'm not saying that I don't ever want to talk to you again, bro, yeah? But I'm saying it now in front of 3.7k people. Right now, I'm going to block you on all your accounts. Do the same to me, bro, yeah? So, on TikTok, I'm not your pal, okay? Don't get all these. I swear to God, Alex, I'm shaking, bro. I'm not mad that I can come on any part of this app and people tell me that I got a fucking platform from you. When I first started TikTok Shop, me and you weren't
Hello,
talking,
Daniel.
bro. I was doing lives on my own. Your mug Kelly was in there with me. You know what I mean? I didn't get no platform from you. I'm not saying that you've said it, but this is what people are going with. People are telling me I should be back in your case. What am I supposed to do to women, bro? Have you,
So
you
the
think
people
I'd
say,
run in the street and style a woman because
No,
she's
but
told
you're not
you
listening.
you're a fat prick or something? You think I'd style a woman? I'd let you deal with yourself? I'm getting mad, bro. It's pissing me off. I don't do this TikTok bullshit.
Frankie,
It's pissing me off.
Just
So now,
because
listen,
they-
in front of all
Thank
these
you,
people
Daniel.
now, I'm blocking Alex.
Frankie.
Alex blocked me. Fucking stop coming to me over Alex Brigger.
Right.
You fucking bunch of drip.
Frankie, you can't blame Alex for what the comments are saying. Stop.
what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, people know my standpoint with Frankie as a friend.
Thank you, Savage
Get back in the
Bitch.
box. You
All
can't
I'm
blame Alex
saying,
for what the
obvious
comments
here,
are
right,
saying.
is just
Savage
because
me.
someone's
Sorry,
in the
darling.
chat saying that,
Alex, never in a lifetime. Let me just say this,
Absolutely, absolutely. Because you got to remember, right? Frankie. Believe it or not, I never used to like Frankie. I used to heavily dislike Frankie, honestly. But I actually, you know, I think he's a top geezer now. Like, now I've got to know him. Do you know what I mean? But he is. He's a good guy. But you got to remember, he's got a real friendship. You know, when I say real, I say like they've been friends for many years. So Frankie knows Alex. Frankie knows Alex inside and out. Do you know what I mean? And I think comment sections really don't help. You know, they can be really mixy. We know it. We know how comment sections work, and I get it. You know, you want to ride and die and go hard for your creator. But I think that with Frankie, like, there's a different Alex on the app and then Alex off the app, and I think this is what Frank is struggling to come to terms with. Is not about the TikTok bullshit, the TikTok, you know, acts, the TikTok drama. Like, Frankie recognises real is real, and that's what I've kind of like got to know about Frankie. And people saying that, thank you, Millie, that Pearl is trying to come between Alex and Frankie's friendship. You need to also remember, Pearl and Frankie haven't been friends for as long as Alex and Frankie, but Pearl and Frankie and Amy have a real friendship as well, you know. So Pearl isn't trying to come in between anybody. Like, believe me, Pearl's one of my best friends. I speak to her day in, day out. She doesn't want to come between anybody. She doesn't want anybody off the app. You know, Pearl's just been frustrated for months because of situations that have happened off the app, which I've spoke about today, and other things, right? So Pearl has a right to be angry, you know, and Alex also has a right, if he feels a way, to feel that way. But Pearl doesn't want to come between any friendships. She's not about it, but she's Frankie and Amy's friend too. You know, it just so happens that Frankie is friends with Pearl and is friends with Alex, but Frankie's saying that Alex is completely different off the app than what he is on the app, and that's why Frankie gets so annoyed and frustrated, you know. And we have to acknowledge and accept that Frankie's feelings matter too in this situation, you know. Yeah, but like I say, I don't think Pearl was in the wrong. I'm not going to have it. I'm sorry. I don't think Pearl was in the wrong. Pearl should have let Alex speak a little bit more. Pearl, did I tell you this? That you should have let Alex speak, right? That was Pearl's mistake. But Pearl has every right to be angry with Alex. Just like if Alex feels away, he's angry with Pearl. But I know the situation, and I know that Pearl was told not to trust me, not to trust Luke, not to trust other people, copy, And you don't know what that did for me and Pearl. And I've never spoke about it. You know, it's only because it's come on the app, and I wouldn't have spoke about it, you know, because I believe what happens off the app between friends should stay off the app. And I'd never bring situations onto the app. Doesn't matter how much I dislike somebody, I'm not going to do that. Thank you, Daniel. Love you, darling. But that really at the time caused a lot of problems between me and Pearl. You don't understand. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Christy, because I've never give Pearl any reason to not trust me. Because we know what happened with Pearl. I was the only person that stood there and was ride or die for her and took the hate that come along with it. She had no reason not to trust me. And that hurt. And it is hurtful. Because I could have been like, thank you, Daniel. I could have been like, nah, fuck you, Pearl, and never speak to Pearl again. But I understood the situation. So fortunately, it didn't cause that damage with mine and Pearl's friendship, but it could have done. Could have caused damage with Cockapoo and Pearl, Luke and Pearl. Thank you, Lauren. But it didn't. But it could have done. But at the time, it was really, really hurtful. 100% Pearl, 100%. Everything on this app makes you stronger. Like, I know I've had a little cry today, but it's only because I've had to say what I've said. I've had to put my feelings out there where Alex is concerned. Like, and that's why I'm upset, because I don't want to do this. I don't want to speak about it. I don't want to, feel like I'm, thank you, Lauren, inciting any kind of war or, I don't want to do that. All I want to do is just come on, do my thing and be left alone. But that's why I've been upset today when I've come on and I'm speaking about all of this, because that's my feelings are genuine here. I haven't done anything to him. But I've been vilified for months and months and months and months and months. I like watching people in a chat section, people that used to support you, people that used to gift to people that used to sub you, like say that you're a snake and you're this and you're that. Like that I can't get over. I cannot get over that. I ain't never sat here and called anybody called him a pred or this or that. I've never done that. Never. And it just so happens that the person that he has had the longest beef with, which, Angie and him's made up, fair enough. We've all made up with people that, we've had the worst kind of beef with. Love that for them, if it's what makes them happy. But I was actually vilified in his chat, more than what she is now. And that is fucking mad to me. That is fucking nuts. Because I've sat here and I've said nothing. And I know that on occasions he said, nah, Miss Red's lovely, Miss Red's lovely, Miss Red's lovely off the app. But tell people I'm not a snake. I'm not what they think I am. Like, it would have made a massive difference to me. Massive difference.
Do I ever want you and Frankie to fall out?
Hating on the clip, Hayes. You're right.
What the comments are saying, it's not.
All I'm saying
now,
is
stop.
Just because they're jumping in this live saying, leave Alex alone, that doesn't mean they're my people. They could be mixing, they could just be people trying.
And do you know another thing that really hurt as well, right? Another thing that really hurt. There's one person on this app, right, that I can never, ever, ever, ever move on with. And that's Zach the Brat. And the reason for that is, right, when I had my and this isn't a pity party, when I had my breakdown in 2020, right, during COVID, I was very, very poorly. I was nearly sectioned, and that's the fucking truth, right? Hard on myself to get back to normal for my husband, my children, and my granddaughter, right? Thank you for that. And he put me in a place where I almost went back there. And, when I went through that whole cancellation thing, which was premeditated, right? You know what's come to the app. It was all orchestrated behind the scenes. And it got to a point where I had to have, and this isn't a sub story, it's the truth, I had to have my medication taken off me because I was taking it And then half an hour later, because my head was that messed up, I was taking it again, right? So I nearly OD'd accidentally. And that's how bad and that's how ill I was over that. So for him to put me in that place again where I worked so hard to get out of, I can never forgive that. Do you know what I mean? Because the level of hate that I had then, I'd never experienced that in my life. And it was so frustrating to me because I hadn't and I weren't doing what I was being accused of. It was completely orchestrated to destroy me and take my platform, get me off the app and whatever else. So that I can't forgive. And people say, well, how can you forgive EQ? How can you forgive that? Because I chose peace. I chose not to hold on to that hate. I wanted to move on. I didn't want these things said anymore. And I knew for a fact at that point she felt the same. She felt exactly the same. And when she rang me up and we had a conversation, I know genuinely that she meant, at first I didn't believe she meant it, but I was happy just to be, you know, have the peace and just it all stop. But she did, she meant it. And proof is in the pudding that a year later, nothing else has been said. Thank you, Roxy. But for him, he's rang me up and we've tried so many times. And I've got the calls. I've recorded some. And then he's come back on the app and he's done it again to me and he's dug me out and he's tried to portray different versions of events. Do you know what I mean? So that's the difference there. I'm happy to move on with anybody. I'm a forgiving person and the reason I forgive is for me. For my mental health, for me, for my happiness. Because I've had to forgive people my whole life for hurting me. So I don't mind doing it for TikTok. But that one person I can't forgive. And the fact that Alex sat there battling that person and then that person was making out, well, you know, Alex, they tried to do it to you. That was fucking wild to me. That was fucking wild. Because that isn't true. We never tried to do anything to him. He did it to himself. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking about Zach. Thank you, Karen. So that was another nail in the coffin for me. The fact that you can sit there with the person that nearly, mentally, put me in a place that I worked so hard to get out of. Put me in a place where I could have potentially have done some real harm to myself by accident because my head was that messed up and sat there battling. I get that you move on and you're allowed to move on, but don't sit there with that person, right? And let them rewrite history when you know the truth. Because I wouldn't sit there with somebody and let them rewrite history with the worst time of your life. I couldn't do that. Move on, brilliant, absolutely. Everybody be friends, right? Everybody deserves peace. But let's not let people rewrite history and say nothing about it. And I can't forgive that. I can't. But at the same time, I understand Alex is allowed peace, Zach is allowed peace. I've had peace with people, so it's only fair other people can have peace. But let's not let people rewrite history because it suits narratives. Because you're mad with somebody, you're mad with people, so you're going to let other people make out different versions of events because we never did that to Zach. It is not the truth.
Start arguments.
But Alex, what I have to say is, I understand where Frankie's coming from because I'm coming from the same.
You did it to us. Zach did it to
I
us.
don't have you on my lives at all because Frankie said I wanted you in here, right? Listen, Alex. Right, can you honestly say...
Guys, can we have a popular push, please?
Never said to me...
3.4k people, guys. We should be podium by now with stagnant on popular 11. If you ever got your heart missing, guys, get your heart missing, please. Any popular gifts, the moderators will pin. I will do some polls in it for those of you that don't want to gift or can't. I am a lot mentally stronger than what I used to be. I've had a little cry today, but it's only because it hurts talking about all this stuff because I don't want to do it. Because to me, I'm getting my truth out there, but I don't want to escalate situations. I don't want to make situations worse for anybody, believe it or not. Because as much as I sit here and I do my drama and I open the boxes and we have drama and this and that, when it's real friendships that are broken down, that's what hurts. But as I was saying, I am a lot mentally stronger than what I used to be. I used to go to bed 9 times out of 10 fretting about what I was going to wake up to. Is someone going to expose a message? Is someone going to expose a fucking voice note? Is someone going to expose a voice call? And then, do you know what? I thought, I don't give a shit, because whatever you expose about me, it ain't racism, it ain't speaking derogatory, you know, it's not fucking slurring, it's not doing this, it's not doing that. So release what you want. Release the fact that I'm calling somebody a cunt, or I'm calling somebody a bitch, and I'm the best mate today. But you ain't going to have nothing on me that's as bad as what's said on this app daily. So yes, I am a lot mentally stronger, because the thing with me is when I first started this app, I trusted so many people, and I'm an oversharer because I've got ADHD. So I overshare. I'll tell you what colour knickers I'm wearing and you ain't even asking, because that's what I do. But I don't care anymore. Whatever anybody brings to this app about me, which isn't going to be that bad that you don't hear every day of the week on this app. And I used to fret about it all the time. Now I don't. I don't give a shit. Because if you've got people on this app that ain't getting cancelled, ain't losing the platforms after the shit that we've heard over the last couple of months, listen, I'm fucking sweet. I'm sweet ass. So yeah, I'm a lot mentally stronger, and I don't take no bullshit anymore. No bullshit. My friends will tell you, right? I used to be kind of like, oh, okay, you know. Now I'm like, don't fucking do this. Don't speak to me like that. Do you know what I mean? I've got a voice now. I'm not such a people pleaser. And that's because of the shit I've had to go through on this app. And my close friends will tell you how I've changed. And I love that for me. Anyway, I'm going to stop speaking about myself because it's boring.
Your friends that surround you, like.
Thank you for the popular push, guys. Let's go.
Girl, you told me they didn't like me and they were trying to cause a divide between me and you. Come on, Alex, be truthful.
Absolute load of bullshit, pal.
You never told me that.
No, but I'll tell you exactly.
You dirty lying.
No, I'm not lying. I'll tell you exactly what was said.
You dirty lying.
I will tell you exactly what was said.
Listen, I've got a baby. Alex, you dirty lying cunt. I've got a baby that's going through heart problems.
I'll tell you exactly what was said.
I've got a sister that's going through heart problems. And I swear on their lives, you're a you said, do not trust them. They're not your friends.
That's what you said to me.
You dirty lying fucker.
You're full of shit. That's what you said to me.
You
dirty.
I said that to you. What about?
Oh my God. See, no, you can't talk to none of you.
And on this situation, and this is why I've specifically played this, guys, get voting on a poll. 3.2k people vote, please. Any face. It's not popularity content, just put whatever you want. But 3.2k people, moderators, will you go through the chat, go do whatever you got to do to see who's just sitting here stagnant. If they're not contributing, I'm not bothered about Lions Universes. I want people helping in the live, please. Thank you, everybody. And this is why I played this specific, thank you guys, part of the video, because I just want to say, like, and it is me defending Pearl. I am going to defend her, right? Because I know that this situation happened because me and her, she never spoke to me. Because she believed somebody when they said, don't trust me. So that's why I'm playing this part of the video, because she's not lying and her feelings are valid and her anger's valid, same as mine. And it's not to incite hate on anybody, it's to put out there our truth. That the reason people are acting this way, same as Cockapoo, like, you know, the shit Cockapoo's had. Yeah, Cockapoo's opinionated, she jumps in a box and she goes on tour and things like that, but it hasn't warranted the hate that she's had either from certain people or different communities. just for jumping in a box and having an opinion like everybody else does. Do you know what I mean? Thank you guys for the popular push. It's okay, Lauren. It's okay, darling.
Talk, go on, I'm letting you talk.
Okay, you stated after the races,
Thank you, Lauren.
thing, right? After the races and thing, you come to me in tears and you literally
The only one that
Oh
stood
my
by
God.
me
Pearl,
after the
Pearl,
racism
Pearl, I'm
was
gonna say to you-
misread.
I'm
The
gonna
only
say
one
to
was
you-
misread.
I'm going to say to you what you said to me. Let
Thank you.
Alex speak, and then
Right,
we
go
can
on,
just
go on, go on.
We had the conversation, you was in tears with me and you went, fuck them all, fuck Cockapoo, fuck Luke, fuck them all.
So
The only person-
then,
Oh, God's
listen,
sake.
Alex, sorry, cockapoo, you're saying let me speak. So you went on the phone to your sister or your sister-in-law, and what did you come back to me and say?
We're not talking about that bit yet.
No, no, I want to ask
Oh my
you.
God,
I'm
just
asking
talk
you.
to your pal.
I am asking you.
Thank you,
Your own
guys.
life, all of you do
Shut the
everything
fuck up.
3.1k, get voting, press any face.
Just be truthful and then I'll listen to you.
Thank you, Olivia.
What did you say to me when I was absolutely uncontrollably upset? You said, give me 5 minutes. I've got I can't remember if it was a sister or family member.
Oh, sister,
That's a
yeah, yeah.
solicitor. Right,
Yeah.
what did you come back and say to me?
Hello,
And I said you
TJ.
was gonna get I don't know how
Thank
many
you,
years in
CJ.
jail, and then you said to
Five.
me, yeah,
5
yeah,
year
yeah,
in jail.
yeah, okay. And then on the same call, I went, no, I'm only joking. If you want to, I'll put you in touch with her. You can speak to her to put your
Thing
mind.
is, right, you shouldn't have to live your life where you don't trust people. I've just seen a comment section, trust nobody, I say. Thank you, Crazy. You shouldn't have to live in a world or be in a place where you don't trust people. Popular number 3, I love you all. You're amazing. Thank you. It's quite sad. It's quite sad that, you know, you feel that let's not trust anybody. I do. And my problem is, as well, I do trust very easy, but the people that I'm surrounded with, I trust 100% because I know they've got my best interests at heart. And trust is really hard, and it's really hard finding good people, but the people that are surrounding me, despite what the app says, bully bastards, they're good people. And I wouldn't say that, you know, unless it was true. And I do trust them.
Because
So he told me I was going to get 5 years.
No.
Then didn't want to speak to him.
No, listen.
Get to fuck.
9k from number 1, guys. 9k.
No.
You're a dirty fucking
For a long time. I'm not gonna get mad.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm not gonna play part 1 to fucking part 10 because it's like I watched it all this morning. It's an hour, and I will stand by. And you've heard my opinion on this. Pearl should have. Everybody that was in the box, it should have let Alex speak a little bit more. I think, you know, he wasn't really not allowed. Is allowed the right words? He basically didn't get as many words in or as much conversation as what he probably should. You know, he should have got in. I'm not probably. He should have got in. But I told Pearl that, and I told Cockapoo that. You know, and like I say, there was a lot of vodka flowing. Thank you, Claire. Would it have made a difference if there weren't vodka flowing? I don't know. They're very strong, passionate women, but the feelings are valid. Their anger's valid. And my anger's valid. My feelings are valid because you've seen him come in the comment section and said that he was paranoid. I didn't do anything to him. Not one thing. And I'm really grateful that he's come in the comment section and said that. Because it's kind of like, it's given me a little bit of peace now, the fact that hopefully I'm not vilified like I have been, because I had that man's back more than anybody will ever know. More than anybody will ever know. And my husband to tell you as well. Thank you, Rach. Hello, Thomas. Hello, darling. And it's just sad that it's come to this. Really, really sad. And I think that there potentially could have been a little bit of hope, because I believe in hope. I believe in forgiveness. I'm all about it. But I can't move on and I can't forgive, purely because of the vilification, the sitting with people that literally destroyed me, and yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's of course I ain't gonna sit here crying about it. I'm over it now. Thank you, Sarah. I'm over it completely. Like, for me, it's like his loss, not mine. I ain't losing anything. But like I say, it's on the app. I'm gonna speak about it. I will have my feelings out there. I will say what I want to say because I'm not this meek and mild person anymore. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I'm feeling. As upsetting as it is, because I don't wish any harm on him, and that's the truth. Don't wish him off the app, don't wish any harm on him.
Thank you.
Joe!
Joe?
Hello, Luke.
Can you do me a favour?
No. Go
Hello,
on.
beautiful queen. You don't want to do Joe a favour?
Yeah, go on.
Hello. You remember me? You spoke to her on the phone. I want you to get your to spam hearts, yeah?
Let's just put these in like
your
this.
promo code, yeah?
Yeah.
Put them in there. I want you to get your chat to spam hearts and pick someone out, Red, that you want to give one of Joe's signed gloves.
Put the promo cards in.
Yeah, put the promo code.
Right. Guys, spam the chat. Are you live, Luke?